Hi, I'm Mike Dano with Light Reading, and we're here at the big 5G show here in Austin, Texas. And we're talking about all the things about 5G, but most importantly, we're talking about private wireless networks. So with me today is Pablo from Omdia. Pablo, you're the private 5G guy, right? You're the expert here from Omdia on private wireless.
Yes, I like being defined as a private 5G guy. So yeah, that's absolutely me. It's a pleasure being here to discuss everything that is big 5G, big private 5G networks here at the show.
I like it. So, so you've been doing a lot of research into this recently. So, what would you say are your top findings that you've been reporting on in your Omdia reports for private wireless? Like, what are the big takeaways that you're bringing to this show to share with people here?
Oh well, there is a lot of things that are happening with the private networks, private 5G market. A couple of the interesting things that I've seen is the evolution of the relationship between private networks and edge. That is something that is capturing a lot of people's attention. A lot of people's ambitions are now how are we combining that computing experience with private 5G. O-RAN is still a very hot topic because no one really knows how that is going to develop in the private networks world. So something that definitely should be on the radar for a lot of different companies. And we also have telcos that are like pushing into private networks, but at the same time trying to change a little bit what is a private networks to strengthen, of course, the public network-based services and offerings. So I think these are three of the most interesting things that are happening. And of course, the evolution of the conversation, 5G plus Wi-Fi, private 5G in this case, plus Wi-Fi, is also something that a lot of people are trying to explore at the moment.
Okay. Yeah, you mentioned the Open RAN, which is definitely a hot topic here. We've had lots of speakers talking about that as well, but it sounds like from what you're hearing is that is still, that's not something that's being deployed heavily now in private wireless. Is that fair to say that that's still early days for that kind of thing?
Yes, I mean, a lot of the Open RAN guys won't like me saying this.
Yes.
But most of the deployment that I see, particularly large deployment, they have let's say, a traditional RAN approach.
Yeah.
So we've seen some momentum for Open RAN, but the majority of the momentum comes from the big guys that are not really pushing for Open RAN. Now, the reason why I still think that Open RAN is interesting because there's a big untapped opportunity there to really develop an Open RAN approach into the private networks market. But there's still some question that needs to be answered. So in terms of, are we delivering a better performance? Are we improving on the cost? Are we able to create a network that is, better tailored for the enterprise? And these are all opportunities out there. It's just that sort of needs to be fine-tuned and really delivered in the market to make sure that Open RAN can compete with traditional RAN approaches.
Interesting. Okay. And then you mentioned the Wi-Fi portion of it. So obviously Wi-Fi has been around for a long time, right? And so, but what are you hearing in terms of, is it integrating a legacy Wi-Fi, like a Wi-Fi network that is already operational into a private 5G network? Is it deploying a new Wi-Fi? Is it offloading to Wi-Fi? Like, what are the conversations when it comes to how to integrate Wi-Fi into a private network?
That's a good question, and there are different aspects to this. I think the standard approach will be if you're talking with someone such as HPE or Cisco, they already have Wi-Fi bases, right. They already have Wi-Fi customers. So for them, it's like I have a Wi-Fi customer, I want to provide private wireless. How can I augment their Wi-Fi network? How can augment the experience with private cellular? Then of course supporting different use cases, but making sort of a single, one network if you want. So that's a lot of the conversation is about augmenting what is already there. It's something that we will see how we will develop, but it has been like a significant change because for a long time, the conversation from a private 5G perspective was like, we are better than Wi-Fi. There's no space for Wi-Fi.
Yes.
And every single vendor has been sort of guilty of that. But now, things have changed and there is an understanding, okay, Wi-Fi is already there, so how can we improve on that rather than just thinking we're going to replace everything? And we'll see how the strategy will develop probably over the next couple of years.
Yeah. Well, you're saying that I can't write any more stories about how Wi-Fi and 5G are competing against each other then? Is that what I'm...
It's a very catchy title. So
it is a pretty catchy title. Yeah, please don't take that away from me. Yeah. Anyway, Pablo from Omdia, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.